guys, how are you doing today? My name is Anita Sandy, and on today's video we're going to be opening our first serial killer file. So I'm so excited, you guys, and I want to give you guys a story, a true story, a crime story about a certain serial killer. And if you're new in my channel, you're highly welcome. And my name is Anita. Subscribe to my channel to see more serial killer files or true crime stories. Yeah, and without further ado, let's get into the video. So you guys, today we are going to be talking about the Giggling Nanny, aka Nanny Dose, aka the Black Widow, aka the blue beard the blue beard lady. I think most of you haven't heard about her, but yeah, this is a really exciting story, kind of scary, and viewer discretion is advised. Now, Nanny Dose, Nancy Hazel, was born in November 4th, 1905. She was one of five children. So Nanny Dose or Nancy Hazel had one brother and two sisters, and she was born in an underprivileged family in Alabama, somewhere called the Blue Mountains, I think that's right. Family with a very controlling father. So Nanny Dose, Nancy Hazel, we'll just call her Nanny Dose in this video. So Nanny Dose and her siblings, they never really had like proper education because her over controlling father, he wanted the kids to be working in the farm for long hours, and therefore they did not get like time to go to school. So when Nancy actually joined school, she used to be very slow. She's in a class with small kids and she's big, and yet she doesn't like grasp anything in class. So this gave her, like, people used to shame her, people used to call her names and ridicule her. Hazel. So James Hazel, as we said earlier, was a very controlling father, and James Hazel never wanted his kids to put on makeup or put on any clothing that would make them look attractive. Now, this is something James did in order to like limit the girls' interaction with boys. So like, he was that strict father, and he was over controlling, and this really, you know, messed up with Nanny, and Nanny grew up resenting him, like really resenting him. At the age of 7, Nancy Hazel or Nanny Dose met an accident, and she hit her head on a metal rod when they were riding on a train with his family. And so this accident was later on, it was seen as the reason why Nanny was like frequently having depression, getting depressed, and having severe headache that will go on for weeks. And this really disturbed Nanny, and she also had like she used to black out. So she really had a rough childhood, other than just like having a controlling father. And also, I forgot to mention, the father also used to like abuse Nanny, sexually abuse Nanny. So at the age of 16, Nanny got married to her first husband, Charlie Braggs, and she met Charlie Braggs at the company in the company in which she was working, and they used to be workmates. So yeah, they had a relationship, and then they got married after a short period of dating, like of 4 months. Yes, and the marriage was approved by Nanny's father, now James Hazel. This couple never had a honeymoon phase, you know, like, I don't know if money was tight or it was just something Nanny's father did not approve of, so that's really clear. So Charlie never had a family. He he had a mother, a single mother. Her mother raised him as a single mother, and her mother never married. So when Charlie got married, he insisted that his mother was to come and stay with them, because his mother was the only family he knew, and he was the only family her mother knew at that time, because he had no father, and it's not stated whether he had a family on the mother's side. So yeah, he insisted that their mother come stay with them, and so that was that. Charlie's mother appeared to be very controlling and overprotective of Charlie. This means that she used to control like Nanny to do this and not to do that. This marriage just proved to be very unhappy, and so for Nanny to get through her days, she used to drink a lot of alcohol, and she also adopted the character of chain smoking. So she used to smoke a lot of cigarettes and also drink a lot of alcohol just to get through her days. You know, she's young and the marriage is really hard. Her husband doesn't even care about her at this point. Nanny Dawes went on and gave birth to their 4 children. All of them were girls, and she gave birth between 1923 and 1927, which is really a short span of time to like give. That was really intense. Gosh, every year she was giving birth. That's in the early 1927. Another tragedy happens. Her 2 daughters die of, like, they say it was food poisoning. So we're not sure if it was, but that's what the autopsy said. It was food poisoning. So then the mourning was brief when Nanny went on and collected the life insurance money for their 2 daughters after just like not even long. Nanny, this will raise eyebrows. Charles accused Nanny of killing their 2 kids, and he ended up fleeing with their firstborn, Nanny's favorite child. So in this point, it seemed that Charles was just fleeing with this kid just to make Nanny feel bad. You know, like, why would he not have taken the younger kid, but taking the first kid, which he knew perfectly well that was Nanny's favorite? So this happens, and then the couple ended divorcing in 1928, a year later, when Charles' mother died in 1928. Now, Charles' mother died just like a few months after Charles had fled with their firstborn daughter, and this also could be a red flag to me, but no one suspected anything. So Nanny took custody of her 2 kids after Charlie stated that he was afraid to eat his wife's food when she's in a full mood, because she could allegedly like poison him. And this was like, the statement alone was like, why would you say that? And so the court decided to give Nanny back the firstborn daughter, and so Nanny got the custody of the 2 kids. So then after their divorce, Nanny moves to Anniston, Alabama, where she now meets her second husband. His name was Robert Frank Herenson. So then in 1929, after getting married, Nanny and Robert decide to move to Jacksonville, which is in Alabama also. And then Nanny then discovers that Robert has a criminal record of assaults, and this really like makes Nanny angry, because despite the fact that they have been communicating even before getting married, they have been sending like numerous letters to each other before they get married, but not even once Robert ever like mentioned that he was once a criminal. You know, like this really made Nanny angry, and despite all that, they are married for 16 years, which was longer than their first marriage. And this is really great. Like, this is really good. 16 good years together. So then in 1943, Melvina, Nanny's first daughter, gives birth to her first-born son. His name was Robert Lee. And then again, she gave birth to her second child in 1947. During the birth of her second kid, Melvina was in labor for a long time, and then so this led to her becoming so tired. But then she says that she thinks she was hallucinating because of the long hours of labor and giving birth, all that. This wears her out. And so when Melvina sees Nancy inserting a hat pin in her kid's soft tissue in his head, she's like, no, what is happening over here? Like, she really can't say this is happening, but then she can't really confirm it is happening because she thinks she's hallucinating due to like the long hours of labor and whatnot. So then when she goes on to sleep, then when she wakes up, she's being told that her kid has died, and the doctors apologize because they think it's just like due to the kid died due to birth complications, but it was actually Nanny that killed the kid. So if you don't know what a heart pin is, I'll insert it somewhere on the screen, maybe here or here. And now a heart pin was just something that was used to, in the olden days, it was used to hold hearts in place, you know, like, yeah. So that was what a heart pin, and it can like easily pierce through soft tissue in the skin. So then Nanny, after the kid dies, Nanny then goes on and collect again the life insurance of Melvina's child. Frank comes back home drunk. Then he forces Nanny into having sex with him, but then Nanny refuses, and then he becomes violent. So Nanny then gives in, and so this really intrigued Nanny, and she was very angry. So she decided to I was thinking if I've said the right thing. Okay, so she was very angry, and in the morning she decided to put like rat poison in Frank's liquor jar. And after Frank's death, Nanny then moves to Lexington, North Carolina, where she then meets Ali Lanning. So she then gets married to Ali Lanning. Ali Lanning. She then gets married to this guy, and then she discovers that Ali Lanning was an alcoholic and took advantage of women. So in her third marriage, this is when Nanny discovered that she can never find anybody who was like suitable for her, who deserved her. So then she turned to these romantic novels to get what she wants. So what she used to do is get married, kill the husband, get insurance money, and move on with her life. In 1950, Ali died of heart failure after having flu-like symptoms. So the doctors then say that his death was due to his heavy drinking. After Ali's death, Nanny then continues to collect the life insurance money, and after collecting the life insurance money, she burns down Ali's property. When Ali was writing how do you call it? A will, he left his property under his sister's name, and so his sister took it, but then Nanny never wanted the sister to have the property, and so she decided to burn down the house, because she said under all costs, this Ali's sister was never going to get that property. Before leaving town, after burning down the property, Nanny decides to go and stay with the Ali's mother. The evening before moving out, her mother-in-law allegedly died in her sleep. Like, this woman is a red flag. In 1952, Nan is now 47 years old, and now she started to look for older men because she knew she was getting old, and her good looks, she was very beautiful by the way, her good looks were now fading away, and so she decides to look for older men. So she used to look for these older men in a certain dating agency called the Diamond Cycle Club, and these agencies back then really used to work, not like Tinder. Now Nanny finally meets her fourth husband, and his name was Richard L. Morton. Now Richard L. Morton was said to be a womanizer, and Nanny decided to kill him. She goes on to kill Richard, and then she collects the insurance money again. So then 3 months after Nanny killed Richard, she then moves to Tulsa, Oklahoma. In June 1953, Nanny met and married Samuel. Samuel was a very religious man. He never approved of Nanny's romantic novels, and he thought that whatever she was doing wasn't right. And a few months after marriage, Samuel was diagnosed with severe digestive tract infection. Nanny had poisoned Samuel and collected the insurance money. So Samuel's sudden death arose like suspicions, and then this led to police actually doing autopsy on him, and he was diagnosed to have taken an alarming rate of arsenic, ingested an alarming amount of arsenic. And so then Nanny was taken in to the police for questioning and stuff. So May 17th, 1955, Nanny pleaded guilty of all of the 11 murders from 1920 to 1954. Now, I don't know why Nanny had been killing people from 1920 to 1954, and no one even ever like suspected her. Even I don't know, that was this, I don't know, like it doesn't make sense. When every death was happening, Nanny was always there, and no one ever suspected Nanny over all those years. So she then, in 1955, she pleaded guilty for all the murders that she had done, and she confessed all of her murders in a delighted manner without any remorse. By the way, I'll be pinning her photos there. There's all of her photos. She's just smiling. She looks very sweet and innocent, and you really couldn't think that she could have done anything like this. But yeah, life is effed up. She really did those. So then Nanny had killed her infant grandson, her 4 husbands, her mother-in-law, and her mother-in-laws, and also her birth mother. So that comes to 11 murders. So she was sentenced to life imprisonment, and she went there giggling. So I think that's why she was called the Giggling Nanny. So after being sentenced to life imprisonment, she wasn't even like feeling bad for herself. She went there giggling, and it said when she was in prison, she used to make fun of all the things that she has done, all the murders, and she used just to tell people stories of how she used to do them. You know, she never even felt bad about doing all those stuffs. So then Nanny died of leukemia in 2nd June 1965, and she was then 59 in the Oklahoma home ward. And that is the story of Nanny, the Giggling Nanny. And yeah, that's it for today. So you guys, what we can learn from this story is never really never judge a book by its cover, because Nanny happened to be this sweet, loving, good neighbor. She used to like cook. She was a good cook, by the way. I failed to mention that she was a really good cook, and she used to give out food to her neighbor. And on the outside, she seemed to be a really good, loving mother, a good neighbor, but then in the inside she was something else. No one even could think that she was capable of doing such things. So that's the unfortunate story of Nanny, the Giggling Nanny, or Nanny Dose if you want to call her that. And yeah, you guys make good choices. Have a nice day, take care of yourselves, and yeah, see you in my next video.